end up here at some point.
That's a good point.
I'm shocked he hasn't been on our show, quite frankly. They all end up here.
Brian, we need to book him.
Yeah, Brian. It's your fault. But I will say that for me, I'm with Abby. Like, is there going to be some big smoking gun tomorrow? If I have to predict, no. But this is one thing I want us all to focus on. There has been evidence that North Korea did not stop pursuing creating nuclear weapons after the original meeting with Kim Jong-un last time. In fact, they have escalated efforts to conceal it. Now, President Trump says that he's now okay with North Korea having nuclear bombs as long as they aren't testing them. That is a shift. That's a paradigm shift from the conversation before. So I actually think we should be focusing, at least unless there's some giant smoking gun, like you said, on what the conversation with Kim Jong-un will be and exactly the United States' comfort level is with North Korea pursuing nuclear weapons. Because I actually think the Michael Cohen thing for Democrats could be a red herring to distract us from something that I think has much more global importance than
Isn't the Korea trip the distraction from Michael Cohen?
That is a false. No, that is actually a very. I think that's a false narrative.
Is not
they scheduled this trip. We could talk about the policy of the trip, which I think you have some great points on. But the trip was scheduled before any of this was to happen. And again, what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to sit in his office, in the Oval Office, and watch television, which he'd be doing normally if he weren't in Vietnam? So this narrative that it's all a distraction that he's in Vietnam,
let's face it. What he usually does is he watches television. He usually watches television with the executive time.
I don't think it's a distraction. I implore the media, and I know we will do it on this show, to focus on what is set in that summit with Kim Jong-un tomorrow in Vietnam. Because again, if there is a paradigm shift that the United States is now okay with North Korea creating and using nuclear weapons, that is a paradigm shift. And I don't want us to get gaslit by Michael Cohen in the meantime, focusing on him being racist, whatever sexual congressional acts he's done. I mean that in sexual Congress. That's how I talk about sex on television. So I just want to make sure we focus on that as well.
I think the media is definitely focusing on this meeting with Kim Jong-un. I'm wondering why this president is so focused on Kim Jong-un. I mean, Mike Pompeo has come out and said that he doesn't understand this paradigm shift.
Doesn't Kim compliment Donald? That's what he likes.
Perhaps that's part of it. But I don't think that,
it's petrifying.
When we talk about Michael Cohen, everyone wants to talk about a smoking gun. And I think that's sort of, it's something that lawyers don't really talk about that much. I think that's sort of a lay term. Everyone's smoking gun, smoking gun. I can't begin to tell you how many cases I've tried. There's never a smoking gun. It's really all about circumstantial evidence. So I think we need to sort of take that.
There was a smoking gun. I saw the jinx. He said kill them all at the end.
While he was Mike,
that was something.
Sometimes there's a smoking gun.
That's very, very rare. Like, that's something that we probably need to take out of our
reason I bring that up, though,
the smoking gun stuff.
But I think lawyers are different than how the public's perceiving. I think there's this idea that when the Mueller report comes out, like he's going to be literally dragged out of the White House and be put behind bars. I'm just trying to set the idea.
That's our dream, but we need to kind of stop. We need to stop talking so much about that.
That is my dream. It's in handcuffs.
You don't need porn. You need someone to reenact that hypothetical.
And the son and the idiot son also, all of them.
But the bottom line, just because there's no smoking gun doesn't mean what's happening with Michael Cohen is not very, very
but the question is, will the Republican Congress, go for it, the Senate, when it comes to impeachment?
I'm not saying it couldn't be important. I'm just saying, for me, my interests are what happens in this summit.
Right. Okay, let's do Black History Month right now.
Today's Black History Month, FYI, celebrates an award-winning journalist, author, and the first Black woman to integrate the University of Georgia, Charlayne Hunter Gault.
Oh, yes.
Along with her school classmate, Hamilton Holmes, she challenged the school's segregationist policies by taking the university to court, and guess what? She won. Once on campus, she didn't let violent protesters, student riots, and death threats stop her from becoming one of the first 2 Black students to graduate. Charlayne went on to a trailblazing career in journalism at The New Yorker, The New York Times, and The MacNeil-Lehrer Report on PBS. She's an Emmy winner, a Peabody winner, and today that same university where she fought so hard for acceptance now has a building named in her honor.
Thêm thiết bị mới, thêm thiết bị đã kết nối mạng và quét mã QR thêm NVR thì chúng ta sẽ click vào một thiết bị mới, lựa chọn một phương thức liên kết phù hợp. Đây chúng ta sẽ chọn Smart Link, nhập mật khẩu Wi-Fi. Để nhập mật khẩu Wi-Fi thì chúng ta phải biết được mật khẩu Wi-Fi của màu đen.
We're closing out the week
Thiết bị
with a
wifi
sizzling
tại
political
nhà
view.
chúng ta.
Presidential candidate
Ở
Bernie
đây thiết bị
Sanders
wifi của
faces the
tôi là từ
women.
VinFast và
It's
tôi sẽ nhập
all
một cái thiết bị mới. Lựa chọn một phương thức liên kết phù hợp.
still ahead. Kristen
Đây chúng ta
Bell
sẽ
and
chọn
Dax
Smart Link.
Shepard on how they feel about being everyone's favorite it
Nhập mật khẩu
couple.
wifi. Để nhập mật khẩu wifi thì chúng ta phải biết được mật khẩu wifi
This new Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC, like,
màu đen.
I love that. She's already got the initials.
thiết bị
She's that
wifi
famous and she's
tại
only
nhà
been
chúng
there
ta.
5 minutes. And she's one
Ở
of the
đây thiết
most
bị
vocal
wifi của
Democrats
tôi
in the
là
game
thiết
right
bị
now.
Pháp và tôi sẽ
She's
nhập mật khẩu
sounding the
wifi.
alarm about how seriously she
thiết bị
says
màu
we
đen.
need to take climate change. Watch.
if we don't turn this ship around. And so it's basically like there's scientific consensus that the lives of children are going to be very difficult. And it does lead, I think, young people to have a legitimate question. You know,
Chúng ta click vào mục nghe thấy âm thanh
is
nhắc
it
nhở và
okay
kết
to
nối.
still have children?
She's getting a lot of blowback for saying that, but don't climate scientists say that we're on the verge of doomsday? I mean, shouldn't people be like worried and scared about this, really? You know, I mean, to me, it's like every time there's a weather report, Al Roker should say it's going to be 20 degrees in New York and a polar cap the size of Portugal has just dropped into the East River. I want to hear the information. Another polar bear, a group, has become extinct. This animal is gone. I think the weathermen need it because the news department, they feel like it's not interesting enough. It's too boring for the public. We're more interested in the excitement of the Trump administration and the
camera đã kết nối được với nhau.
Yeah, right? So,
Phía trên sẽ có ID của camera.
that is the weathermen. I think that's where it belongs. They need to tell us every day how close
ID là
we're getting
865132.
to total
Đối với camera
disaster
này
on
thì
this
chúng ta cài đặt.
Yeah. Well, I know it's something that you and I
Các
have
bạn phải
talked about a
nhớ
lot. I know
ID.
it's something, Joy, that you're concerned about a
Trong
lot.
trường hợp
And I remember we had a
cài đặt
conversation
cho
even
một máy
last
điện
year,
thoại
and
khác
you said
thì chúng ta
if
chỉ
you were
nhập
younger,
ID vào
it's
mật khẩu
something that you would be thinking
của
about
camera.
very seriously. Would you bring a child
Là
into
chúng ta
this
có thể
world
cài đặt
considering climate change? And
các
I
thiết bị
thought,
khác.
oh my gosh, that sounds so drastic. But then
Đặt
if
tên
you
thiết
look
bị.
at the research, the
Và
birth
phần
rate
đặt
in
tên
the
thiết bị
U.S. has been
chúng ta có thể
falling
đặt
for
tên
a
bất kỳ.
decade, reached a new low in 2016.
đặt
And
tên là
studies
Việt
have
Pháp.
examined how large a role climate change plays in people's childbearing decisions,
Nhập mật khẩu thiết
millennials
bị.
in
Mật
particular,
khẩu thiết
and
bị
then
mặc
and
định của
younger
camera
people.
Yossi
And
sẽ là
by
123.
and large, they're saying that they worry about the quality of life
Chúng ta
their
có thể
children
tùy
born
chỉnh đổi
today
mật khẩu.
will have as shorelines
Ở phần
flood,
sau, tôi sẽ hướng dẫn
wildfires
cụ thể.
rage, and extreme weather becomes more
Sau khi
common.
nhập mật
So
khẩu
I
xong,
know
chúng
that it
ta tiến
sounds
hành
like,
lưu.
you know,
Phía
Alexandria
bên
is
tay
being
phải
so,
màn hình.
you know, crazy and so left and radical. But the studies
hình
bear
không?
out what she's saying.
Giờ thì hiển
The
thị.
studies bear it out.
It does concern me that
Thế hiển
there's
thị
even
mật
a
khẩu
way to
yếu.
defend the question she's
Như đã nói,
asking.
chúng ta có thể
Because
đổi mật khẩu.
there's a difference in caring about our climate,
Click
which
vào
I would argue probably everyone in this room cares about the
thêm màu
future of
đỏ.
their kids and their grandkids and the air they
Có
breathe.
dấu chấm
And
than.
asking a legitimate question about doing away with the human race. Last I checked, we elect politicians to come up with
Chúng ta
solutions,
nhập
not
mật
to
khẩu
just
cũ.
do
Mật
away
khẩu
with
cũ là
everything.
mật khẩu mặc định của
Of
camera là
all
123.
the things she said, this is
Mật
by
khẩu
far,
mới
in
các
my
bạn có thể
opinion,
tùy đặt.
the most outrageous, the
But
most
aren't you
absurd.
taking it even further than what she took it? She's asking the question. And isn't that question legitimate?
Do you know what the Democrats
Một
are
là
going to
một
make this their platform? They should ask that question.
It will be on the platform.
Good luck. Good luck.
Can I say what
Cái
is
này
also
lưu.
on their platform, which I wanted to bring up, was Ben
Chế độ
Sass
thành công.
authored the Born Alive Abortion
Bây giờ
Survivors
chúng ta có thể
Protection
hiểu thành quả.
Act. This act would punish any doctor who
camera
fails
của
to
ta như
provide
thế này.
medical care to a child born
Click hai
alive
lần
after an
vào
attempted abortion.
màn hình.
Every single Democrat except three
Camera
of
đã
them
hiển thị chữ
voted
trực
for
tuyến.
this yesterday, including
có thể
Cory
thấy.
Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. So that means these Democrats don't believe
Camera đã hiển
that a
thị.
baby born after a botched
ta có
abortion
thể
should
tùy
receive
chỉnh.
medical care. Now, this is something
Camera
that
quay trái
started with
phải.
Governor Northam. Now, this is an
Tương
example when
với-
we're talking about people having children and where just how extreme
tay
the
di
left
chuyển
has
trên màn hình.
gone. This is an example of that. And by the way, according to a Marxist poll, 80% of Americans
Bạn có thể
support
vuốt
abortion
sang
being
trái,
limited to
sang
the
phải.
first 3 months of pregnancy.
Như
So
vuốt
if Democrats
lên
want
trên
to win an
xuống dưới.
election going forward,
Camera
are you
sẽ
going
xoay
to
tương
be
ứng.
the party of late-term abortion?
I
The
believe-
Các bạn có
party
thể
of
thấy
infanticide. Let me finish, please.
trên giao
Are
diện
you going? Is this the platform
có
you're going to
hai
have?
mũi tên.
Because when you're talking about children
Để
and
xem
you're
toàn
talking
hình,
about being
chúng ta click vào
pro-life,
đó.
this is well out of the mainstream of where
Xoay ngang.
Americans are at. And when I hear AOC saying that, I actually
Chất lượng
think
này.
Cory Booker,
Chất lượng
Kristen
nét.
Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, all these
ta
people,
cần chỉnh thành
they
chế độ
are
HD.
answering
Hiện tại trên màn hình
her.
có
I
biểu
believe
tượng
AOC
SD.
is the leader of the party. And if you think that is how you win back the White House, I'm here to tell you I spent a lot of time in red states. I'm from a red state. That is a losing argument.
I need to push back on that. Only because...
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. I need to push back on that.
On the Ben
because
Sass
as-
born alive abortion survivor.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were pro-life like me.
I am, and that's why I need to push back on it because I
So you
think
think a baby born from a botched abortion should be put down
her tell
like
her
a dog
side,
or a
and
cat?
this is
Megan,
why I
let
need
her
to.
tell her
This is
side,
why I need to
please.
push back on it.
Disgusting.
This is why I need
It's
to push back.
infanticide.
Because the bill that the Senate Dems blocked yesterday was to provide medical care for infants who survived failed abortions.
Yes.
Now, one thing is,
So
it's
those
something
babies
that's
should
so
just be left to die on a
Is she
table.
going to be able to tell her
it's something
side
that's
to
so
this one now?
extremely
Disgusting.
rare that it basically never happens.
It's not rare, in fact.
Because my sister-in-law is an OBGYN and also Catholic, so it's something that we talk about a lot.
So even though
And
it's
something
rare
that
in the
bothers
times that it
me.
happened, it should
So
be
we don't need a new law for this, which is why I think a lot of the Democrats voted
Then
against
why
it,
did this cause so
because
much
it's already
controversy?
required to provide medical care to infants born alive, which is the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. So this bill required that this bill also required that all babies born alive be immediately transferred to a hospital, which my understanding is it's not always safe for a newborn. And passing this bill would impose legal and criminal penalties on doctors who don't comply with that.
Yes, the doctors,
even if
the
it
doctors
isn't
who would
in
not
the best
provide
interest
medical
of the
care for an
infant.
aborted
So
child
this
is
is why I
fine.
think
That
of
doctor
a
should be
larger
punished.
strategy to pay.
Thank you. That doctor should be punished.
By the way, this is also.
Can I be nice also that Republicans care about children after they're born? We have to go. We have to go.
Các bạn chọn bài email. Ở đây nếu bạn nào có email rồi thì tốt.
Đây là mình sẽ cắm nguồn rồi này.
So, Sonny, you wanted to give your
Mình
rebuttal
cắm
without
nguồn mình sẽ
interruption.
đợi
Give
một
your
lát để cho cái cam
I
nó
just want to put a button on it in the sense that, and this is a tough topic, I think, but in terms of the law, the bill that the Senate Dems blocked yesterday, my understanding is that the reason that it was blocked is because the Dems felt that there wasn't a need for a new law because it's already required that medical care for infants born alive need be provided, and that law is the Born Alive Infants Protection Act. And under that, under the bill that was proposed, it required that all babies born alive be immediately transferred to a hospital. And that is not always safe for a newborn. So that is one of the reasons why the Democrats also voted against the bill. And passing the bill would impose legal and criminal penalties on doctors who don't comply with moving the infant, even if it isn't in the best interest of the infant.
How often does something like that actually
And it is extremely rare that this sort of failed abortion happens. And even in the case when it happens, doctors are required to make sure that the baby receives medical treatment.
Pro-life women know exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly what I meant.
Cái cam này thì ra bây giờ nó rất tiếc, nó có thể xoay,
That was their choice.
Now we're talking
xoay
about the
ngang,
Kardashians.
xoay lên xoay xuống này. Giá cũng rất rẻ, chỉ có 650.000 cái thôi.
That's
Big
this
Phone
show.
đang bán.
We talk about a lot of
The
stuff.
Kardashian Jenner clan is being rocked by a betrayal right now. Tabloids say that Khloe
Đấy, bắt đầu nó có
Kardashian's
tín hiệu này.
man,
Các bạn có thể nghe
Tristan
tín
Thompson,
hiệu ok này.
messed around with
Đấy,
Call X-Man now.
Oh, sorry.
Đây nhá.
X-Man, maybe.
Giờ các bạn vào
He messed around with
phần mềm này.
Kylie Jenner's best friend, Jordan
Vào
Woods.
phần mềm cam.
According to reports,
Đây các bạn
Woods
ở đây
says, I have that
này.
pictures, I don't know
Nó
which
phần
is
thêm
which
thiết bị
hand.
mới này. Đấy.
She was the
Đây nó
left.
có ba
So,
cái,
okay,
một là
she,
Smart Link,
the
kết
left,
nối
was
có dây
blackout
và
drunk,
kết nối
according to
hot.
tabloids, when she hooked
Thì là
up with
thường
them.
thì mình có
Now,
thể
see,
nếu
I
mình
wonder
cắm mạng
about
LAN
that.
đây thì
They
mình
say
sẽ
in
kết
Vino
nối trực tiếp luôn.
Veritas,
Nhưng vì
you
đây
know,
là
you
các
drink and you
dòng
tell the
cam
truth and you do
dùng
what you
wifi
really want
cũng
to
rất
do.
nhiều cái mà đi dây thì nó không
Is
tiện.
it an excuse to
Và
be
mình sẽ
drunk?
kết nối qua
No, this
wifi
girl's
nhé. Kết nối
responsible
qua
for her
wifi
own
thì bạn vào cái
actions.
Smart Link
I'm
này.
sorry, but
Smart Link này.
this should be a
Đấy.
reminder for all of us
Nhập mật
that
khẩu
your
wifi
life
ở
can
tại
change based
nhà
off
của
of
các bạn.
one night,
Đây chẳng hạn
based
như mình
off
đang
of
ngồi ở
one
Big
bad act
Phone,
that you make,
nhập
and
mật
for
khẩu
what? This guy,
wifi
Tristan
Big
Thompson,
Phone.
is going to be with the next girl a week later? I mean, what's so sad is she was part of the Kardashian family, she was part of their business, and what I've read is she's even being booted from all that stuff. I don't think being drunk is ever a good enough excuse for anything. You are responsible
Đây là
for
mình
yourself.
đang nghe
How
thấy
many
âm
of you
thanh
have had a
YouTube nó nhắc
drunken
nhở
spree
rồi
where you really
nhé.
regret what you did?
Đấy.
Come on, raise your hand.
Nghe thấy âm thanh nhắc nhở này. Tiếp tục này.
See, a lot of people. But
Các bạn to tiếng lên, cái này nó sẽ bắt qua sóng âm.
You, how
Nó
about
sẽ
you
kêu
three
lên.
ladies here? Come on, Megan.
Để cái khoảng cách tầm khoảng 30 cm đổ lại. Đấy, để cho nó kết nối.
I wish I could right now, but I can't.
I know.
Đấy. Nó báo như này là đã kết nối ok này. Bây giờ ví dụ như đặt tên trên này nó sẽ không đặt tên thiết bị, chẳng hạn như nhà bạn lắp nhiều cái, một cái cửa hàng, một cái ở nhà. Tôi chẳng hạn như đây cái là ở nhà chẳng hạn như. Đấy. Mật khẩu của thiết bị thì ngay bên phía dưới các cái cam ở đây nó đều có cái password mặc định
problem is you
123.
can't consent. I'm gonna put my legal hat on real quick. You can't consent to having
Lưu lại
sex
này,
if you're
báo đã trên
drunk,
thành công.
right? So if
Đây
she
này.
was truly
Đấy, nó
totally
báo trên đây là đang
inebriated,
trực
she
tuyến,
couldn't
camera
consent to
này
it
ở
anyway.
nhà
So she may
này.
not
Bạn
have
vô đây
known what
xem
she
này.
was doing.
Well, they were clearly
này.
She drove after though. They were
And so
She drove after?
She drove out
Muốn truy cập
after.
micro này. Ok.
Back off. Say, you can't break girl code like that. Like that's a girl.
Đúng rồi. Ở đây nhá, ở ngay giao diện chính này thì nó sẽ có các cái
It's like he always blamed
đây,
the woman.
mình đã
What's
truy
that?
cập
He
cam này,
seems
bây
like
giờ
a
bước vào này.
monster.
Ngay giao diện chính của nó này.
Nasty
But then
ass.
also,
He cheated when she
Cái
was
này
9
nó sẽ
months
hiển thị là
pregnant.
số người đang xem và
Thank
một
you.
người thì có một mình máy của mình thôi. Nhiều máy kết nối, ví dụ chẳng hạn như một cái máy khác muốn kết nối thì đây chẳng hạn như mình đây là một cái máy khác. Cái máy này đã tải phần mềm Rose và đã đăng ký các bước như lúc ban đầu.
Tristan should
Như
be
lúc
dead
ban
to
đầu.
Chloe right now.
Đối
but
với
they
những
have
cái
the
máy đầu
baby
tiên này
together.
thì các bạn nhìn ở bên trên này,
So,
các cái
what
máy
do
khác
you
khi
do
mà
in
vào
a
phần mềm có kết
situation
nối
like
cùng
that?
wifi
You've got
thì nó sẽ hiện cái dòng là phát hiện thiết bị mới này.
So,
Đấy,
so
ở
you
đây thì
have
mình đã
to-
phát hiện hai thiết bị mới, tức là loanh quanh đây thì người ta cũng đều dùng. Có một cái nữa là nó dùng cái cam không dây này rồi. Có dùng cái cam không dây khác. Mình sẽ xem địa chỉ IP của cái này này.
She's so pretty, pretty thing,
Đây nhá. Cách để xem địa chỉ
He's an
IP này.
example of once a cheater, always a cheater. Not
Cách để
everyone
xem địa
fits
chỉ
that
IP
category,
các
but I
bạn.
think he
Ở
was
cái
involved in that.
cam này các bạn ấn vào cái số nhà này.
Work it out.
Đấy, 10224 và trên đây của mình này nó phát hiện ra 24, mình chỉ ấn thêm một thôi. Thêm ở trên đây. Đây là nhà này. Khẩu tên mình là 123 này. Nhớ lại.
Oh, sorry, we were just role playing. It's how we keep things hot, you know.
Yeah.
Aren't just talented actors, they're also one of America's it couples who are happy to share the things they've learned in their relationship and as parents. So please welcome the totally adorable Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard.
I forget how festive it is here. It's so fun. Hun, we're this way. We're this. Hun, we're this way. We're this way. By the way, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Does it get bigger? I mean, my goodness.
How far along are you? Can I touch it?
6 months, yeah.
I'm touching it. Welcome to Earth.
We were going to do a hot topic about people who touch, pregnant women's bellies.
It's triggering, right?
But
for
women
some
don't
folks.
bother me. It's like
It's
the straight
dude.
men that I don't know that ask to touch it. And I'm like, I
Hey,
never
sweet
asked a
bump.
woman to touch it.
It's fun. It will get a lot bigger. When I gained 47 pounds.
You already have a 1-year-old, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna have like triplets.
And there's 2 in here.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you're gonna get so big.
Joy tells me that every day on this show. She goes, you're just getting bigger. Bigger and bigger.
It's great. You're doing a healthy thing for your body. You're a superhero. That's what this means.
I loved it. I felt like I was cheating on my wife.
Yeah.
You have a different body, that's true.
Yeah.
Your back is so broad.
Yeah.
But you too, what is it with you? You like to share everything that goes on in the marriage, don't you?
Well, first of all, y'all
Let's
ask
hear
the
it.
questions, so don't blame us. We're not leading with it. Y'all are like, what's your marriage like? And we're like, oh, well, yeah.
But you tell stuff. Like some bird told me that you guys like to schedule dates and even, the
Coitus?
Even the coitus, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have. How else are you going to get it done?
Well, to be honest, we are pretty open about it because we feel an obligation to say, hey, it's a ton of work. It's not like we bumped into each other and it's like, oh, I found the one, and then it was easy. So I think we feel an obligation to share that we started in therapy. Yeah. We have,
So the greatest form of love, obligation.
Yeah.
Or hard work yields the best results. Another way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, also, as actors, I mean, you get to see each other in love scenes. And I've heard, Dax, that you actually don't get jealous. You enjoy seeing your wife in these scenes.
Well, you're playing it fast and loose with the language, but I will say this. I will say that when the writing is good, like on The Good Place, I want Chidi and Eleanor to get together. So when they're like this and they're looking, I'm like, get it done, get in there.
And he is yelling at the television, get some, babe.
And you had that with Minka Kelly on Parenthood. You're like, kiss her, kiss her, kiss her.
Really? Yeah. Well, we're storytellers, and we have a trust in our relationship. Also, I
I'm complimented that he roots for me because he knows I'm married. I'm not dead.
Yeah, also good for her. We've been together 11 years. You get a little action on TV with Chidi, bring it, you know?
That's so healthy because I'm so super
Sonny needs to
jealous.
hang out with you guys.
You're
more.
jealous?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here, you want to hear?
She is.
Sincerely, here's what I say about jealousy. The least attractive thing for your partner is jealousy. So if what your goal is to keep them interested and not interested in other people, it's not an option. You got to go, no, that's actually repellent.
I think my husband thinks it's hot.
Then he needs to see a therapist quick.
You were nominated, though, for a Golden Globe for The Good Place. It is a fabulous show, by the way. You were great on it.
It is.
But what I love about you guys are they're just so real and relatable. You didn't go to the after parties. You went home, ate leftovers on the couch,
They're
watched 60
so
Minutes.
late. And 60 Minutes was on. I mean,
So what happened when you got home?
we just a beautiful relationship. It inspires.
By the way, I like that you're letting your girls get dirty and do some fun stuff too.
Oh,
It's
they're
not all just playing with
filthy.
dolls and whatever. I love it.
They're filthy.
That's what my dad used to do with me, like with bikes and out in the desert, and I love it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird through reading parenting books. I realize, like, we teach them to be clean. They don't mind that their hands are sticky until we go, ew, ew, clean this up. And then they start to go, ew, ew, I need to clean this up. But it's like, you know, we just we try to stay chill about it.
But you guys have a new product line, Hello Bella, which I'm personally thrilled about. It's organic, but it's also, it's funny. You play around with it.
Yeah, so when we had kids, you want to take this?
Let's
do it
yes,
together.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Listen, I just want to say, when we had kids, thank goodness she's in the mix because she cares so much about what goes on their skin, what goes in their body.
Read a lot of labels.
She's meticulous about things being healthy for the kids. And I have a chip on my shoulder and think only rich people get good stuff. So I said, you know what? Everyone should have this. Everyone should have the same access you and I have as spoiled brats in Hollywood. And so we were in a really unique position to be able to approach Walmart and start on a scale that made it super affordable. So it is the best baby stuff out there, and it's a third cheap.
And we started with a price point that because we have a lot of family and friends in Michigan, and they can't afford to use the same stuff that we use. And people in this country actually have to choose between their baby and their budget, and that is not a fair choice for anyone to make. And so we wanted to make something that was healthy, that avoided chemicals of concern, that used organic botanicals when possible, and supported sustainable farming. All the things that we want, we use it on our kids, and we wanted to bring it to the masses.
And again, I just cared about the price.
Then we say it like this: your mom chose what was in it, and your dad chose the price point.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Well, Kristen, fans love you, obviously, as the iconic voice of Anna in Frozen. You were actually Elsa for Halloween twice. I understand.
This is what I wish that I had known before having kids, is that I would just lose my dignity.
So I don't have kids, and I also lost my dignity here at the show because I was also Elsa for Halloween because my nickname here is Elsa because I'm so icy.
Who wore it better?
But the original, obviously.
But you know what? I respect that so much because Elsa is loved dearly by her sister Anna, and I love you dearly, so I think it's an appropriate nickname, and I love you very much.
Thank you. Also, she's amazing in the movie. When it came out, that's my nickname. I was like, yeah, she also was a badass in the movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
The trailer for Frozen 2 came out 116 million views in 24 hours.
I
That's
watched
insane.
it a lot. Yeah.
But do kids recognize you in public? Like when you're talking at a restaurant, do people think, oh my gosh, Anna?
No, usually what happens is the parents get excited and then they come up and they say to their kid, do you know who this is? And the kid's like,
She's not a cartoon.
No.
Yeah.
And then they tell them this is the voice of Anna, and it just kind of destroys their brain bubble momentarily because they're like,
well, it turns into a long, like, right, so she does the voice. Well, so what happens is they animate, right, so there's cells, and then all of a sudden it's a master class in animation, and the kid lost interest and leaves.
Yeah, but I take a picture with the parents, so it's all
You two seem like you have a lot of fun in your life, and certainly bring a lot of fun to the show, so thank you for coming by. Our thanks to Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, and we'll be right back.
Okay, so you know these ladies aren't afraid to voice their views.
Proud of it. Welcome back. So, on last night's Bachelor, Colton made an old-fashioned gesture to the father of one of his 4 girlfriends. Watch.
I am somebody who needs a father's permission at the end of this. I'm even going to think about getting down on one knee. And that's why I want to take this opportunity chance just to ask you, if I can have her hand in marriage, if it gets to that point.
It is forever, in my opinion. And too often it's, I think, done without enough thought. So I feel like as far as the hand in marriage, that would be a premature blessing.
Okay, here's an update on The Bachelor himself. As of last night, Colton is still a virgin. And so am I. So this father is like, I don't think I'm going to give you permission. You don't know them long enough. I mean, her long enough. I thought that was cool. Why should he?
I mean, we started the conversation by he's asking the fathers of his 4 girlfriends. So it's clear the father's not into the process.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. I mean, it's like you're asking my daughter, one of your 4 girlfriends, if you choose her for her hand in marriage, I would be like, you could miss me with all of that. Like, no thanks. Yeah, like, no.
The virgin thing, so I'm the only one at this table that religiously watches the show. I have for years and years, and I love The Bachelor. I don't know why. It's because you follow each character every season, and they haven't had fantasy suites yet. They've already filmed it, so it could be that he's not a virgin. We don't know, Joy.
Well, he says he's a virgin. I have to believe the guy.
But I agree. I actually, like, now as a parent, when I watch this, I'm thinking to myself,
why would someone lie about that? Sorry.
A virgin? No, I don't know. I'm just saying between that point and now.
Oh,
like,
you mean he might not be now?
They have what's called fantasy suites where he spends the night with the girls, the remaining.
All of them?
Yeah, with all the remaining.
Sometimes wait a minute. He goes from 0 to 10, and
you might as well live it up if you have never gone there before.
He sleeps with all of them now.
Some of them do.
No, they make the decision behind closed doors.
Do that?
Yeah.
So the father should be concerned that his daughter is sleeping with this guy while he's sleeping with all those other girls? That is disgraceful.
Of all bachelors, that's probably the least of my worries. That guy.
I can't imagine my father in that situation. It would have gotten so ugly.
I can imagine my father.
Right?
That guy would have been dead.
Yeah, it would have been ugly.
But the amount of time that he spent with each of these girls, like one-on-one, is maybe like a few hours in a day. And so then you go to someone's house and you say, they meet them for maybe a dinner and say, I want to marry, if I ask for marriage, can I get your permission? Like, you think about that. If you've raised your child for all those years, you've taught them everything they know. That's a really tough position for them to be in.
Wait, just so I can understand this. It's like the Kardashians. It's hard to follow.
Yeah.
So now he asks the guy for permission to marry. The guy says no.
Right.
So that means she's off the table, right?
To me.
No, what about to him and to her?
He's got to be dead to her now, right?
I think I think he ends up picking this girl.
All right,
Megan, you
I have a quick shout out. I don't care about The Bachelor. I'm sorry. Arizona Coyotes legend Shane Doan retired his jersey number 19. He spent 21 years with the Coyotes. He was the Coyotes team captain. He is a legend in Arizona. We love you, and I just want to give a shout out that he is an Arizona icon. The Coyotes jersey. One of my favorite memories growing up were going to Coyotes games, and we all love you, and congratulations.
He's cute.
Great.
I was going to say, he's
so
handsome.
cute.
Handsome.
Has a lovely wife as well, but just go Coyotes, and thank you, Shane Doan, for everything. Sorry, let me get my little thing in. Thank you, Joy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
we're going to be right back.